great Donald Trump, the war president, has sent the military to New York City. All hail the commander-in-chief. And please, will the last worker to leave Las Vegas please turn the lights out? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bravo, Vermula! Here reporting on the ground from Las Vegas. Everything's in chaos. There are still people driving around, but everything's closed down. All the casinos, all the hotels. Just yesterday, the governor said, shut all the stores down. The shoe store, the camera store. If you are a non-essential, you will shut down by orders of the governor. Ha ha ha! These people make me laugh. They are so pathetic. Shut it all down, you little sissies, you little snowflakes. Damn it. I can't. I'm almost ashamed to be American at this point. I'm almost ashamed to be a human. Seriously? Shut it all down? How do you justify shutting the world down over a so-called virus? I mean, the world has always been a disease-filled cesspool of viruses. It's always been that way. The only difference is back then we were tough. We were rough. We were real men. The only difference is today we're a bunch of sissy, pansy snowflakes. Please get real here. Somebody call up the governor. Somebody call up the president. Somebody tell these lunatics that we are tougher. We are tougher than that. We are not little snowflakes falling to the ground, melting. Oh, come on, please. Somebody has got to wake these people up. Ridiculous does not even begin to explain this mass hysteria. Okay, like I said, the war president, as Donald Trump now wants to be called, has sent the not only the Navy, but now I believe he's sending the Army to New York City. They are on total lockdown. What is that, house arrest? Shelter in place. Shelter in place. What is that, like martial law? Is that like house arrest? I mean, don't tell that to the snowflakes. I wish I was making this shit up, but as you all know, it's all true. It's all true. It's out there in the media. They're not hiding it. They are not hiding in the bushes anymore. No, the 666 gang is pointing their weapon right at your head. You are the target. But I don't want to be negative today. No, I don't want to be negative here. I want to be positive. The positive good news, the positive good thing about this pre-planned event is that when the dust clears and when the smoke floats away, the 666 gang will be on the run. They're already scared, but when the dust clears and the Americans get tired of being on house arrest, and trust me, Americans are not the type of people who really like to play by the rules. No, Americans are rule breakers. Remember how that back when they tried to make alcohol illegal? Remember how that worked out? How's it worked out all these years? The war on drugs. Yeah, that worked out pretty good because Americans don't really like your damn rules, and Americans don't play by the rules. Americans break the rules. So try putting 300 million Americans on house arrest. Just try it, 666 gang, because I'm going to be laughing at the whole show. The whole shit show. It's going to turn into a shit show faster than you can say, shelter in place, shitheads. Yes, it turns out over the last 20 years, America's built up a huge inventory of electronic war devices designed to kill camels in a faraway desert. But that did not leave much money left over, did it? For face masks, silver, hospital beds, gold, natural medicines, toilet paper, gold, meat, bread, and potatoes. I mean, yeah, you talk about misallocated assets. I mean, imagine this. Imagine going from the great superpower America forcing their will on camel herders, and now it's almost laughable. The great America is asking, get this, The great America is asking their nurses to sew their own protective gowns and masks. Is this laughable? Come on. We don't even have face masks. They're asking the nurses to sew their own gowns and masks. You talk about trillions of dollars of misallocated assets over the last 20 years. I only have one word for these people. Morons. Oh, no, excuse me. I got two words for these people. Morons and idiots. They wasted my country's wealth. They squandered America's wealth, trillions and trillions of dollars. They squandered it away. Think about it. If you train a generation of young men to be SWAT team soldiers, what good are they now? Tell me, what good are all these soldiers and SWAT members now when this invisible weapon is being spread, put into your face? The fear and the panic has set in. Yeah, I guess those conspiracy nuts are not looking so crazy anymore, are they? Yeah. The FEMA camps! The FEMA camps are coming. The FEMA camp fanatics, they saw this coming years ago. But here we are today. The DOJ, the Department of Justice, and I don't think justice has anything to do with the name, but anyhow, the DOJ, they're asking, the deep state Department of Justice is asking the puppet Congress for the power to arrest and detain people indefinitely without a trial or any rights. We are here. They are in your face. The New World Order, the 666 gang, is now at war. And that war is against you and I tell you, it is getting real. It's getting serious. It's all locked down. And it's not all locked down because of the so-called virus. No, the central bank crisis, the central bank cartel, they're scared to death. They literally have to push $1 trillion button every day now to keep the system afloat. The house of cards is about ready to fall down, and they're thinking to themselves, if we push this $1 trillion button today and tomorrow, people might start to laugh at us. Yes, we are laughing at you, you central bank idiots. $1 trillion. Can you imagine having the power to push $1 trillion button and somehow 1 trillion magical digits appear and that money is floated out to all your friends? They can send the Navy to New York. They can send the Army to New York. They can shut down all the casinos. They can send out magical stimulus packages. They can send out $1,200 to a cocktail waitress who made $50,000 last year. Think about that. They're about ready to send out $1,200 checks to dealers and cocktail waitresses that made $50,000 last year. But if you're a veteran on the street, if you're a homeless veteran on the street, you're going to get zip, nada, zero, nothing. If you're a homeless veteran on the street, you're absolutely not going to get a dime. You're going to continue to be on the street. You're going to continue to be homeless. And that cocktail waitress that made $50,000 last year, she's going to get $1,200. Yes, that's what I call a crony capitalistic system. Push your $1 trillion button and then shove it clean up your goddamn ass. Quite frankly, I'll be happy when they all go broke, when all their fiat money goes to zero and they're all pissing in the street. I'll be happy. The Dow Jones is at 19,000. That represents the death cross. In market chart talk, I think everybody knows what that means. When I say the death cross, I think everybody knows what that means. Look it up on the market charts, okay? It's funny because the great golden puppet dictator, he's not really taking credit for this death cross. That's pretty strange. Yeah, now that when the Dow Jones was 30,000, oh, look at me, I'm the great golden president. The Dow Jones is at 30,000. The economy is so strong, and bah! Bam! Right in your face. A couple months later, the Dow Jones is at 19,000. We're looking the death cross right in the eye. And now all of a sudden the puppet dictator is not bragging so much about the economy. I guess his foot doctor has advised him to focus on being the war president. I hope his feet can stand the fire, because the world, do I have to say it again? The world has always been a disease-filled cesspool. It's what made us tough and resilient. We were once tough people. The tough Irish, the tough Sicilians, the tough Germans. We were rough and we were tough and we knew it. We were James Cagney type of people. We walked with a little strut in our walk. We had that strut. We had that confidence that we were tough because we were tough. The difference today, of course, is that we walk around like a bunch of sissies, afraid of our own shadow. Martial law. Oh, I'm sorry, little snowflakes. Yeah. Shelter in place. Shelter in place. You people are pathetic. I'm almost waiting for the collapse in open arms. I invite the collapse to come in open arms. And then maybe, just maybe, Americans will pull themselves up by the bootstraps. They won't ask the government for a handout. But it's going to take a while. Here in the near future, everybody's going to be standing in line behind the military trucks waiting for the bread to be thrown out. It will be sad. It will be pathetic. Hopefully I'm not in a FEMA camp, and hopefully I can take videos of Americans with their hands out waiting for the military trucks to give them bread. Oh, God, it's sickening. But in many ways, maybe we deserve it. I think we do deserve it. In many ways, the overindulgent, selfish people of America deserve everything they're going to get. For indifferently sitting by, we just indifferently sat by and let the criminal 666 gang take over our government. And when they took over our government, because they own the Federal Reserve banking cartel, then they took over our military. The military could not operate without the banks pushing trillion-dollar buttons. The government could not operate without pushing trillion-dollar buttons. Because they control the Federal Reserve banking cartel, the criminal 666 gang took over the whole damn country, and we just sat back and said nothing. As they squandered our wealth in the desert of camels. They just squandered our wealth away. We are watching textbook 101 game theory right here. What we're experiencing today is nothing more than textbook 101 game theory on how a small group of evil asshole people can control a large mass of weak and mindless sheep. This type of propaganda that we're looking today, later on I'm going to show you in this video the propaganda they're spurting out in Las Vegas, but this type of propaganda is unprecedented in America. To try and put all the unwashed masses on house arrest, put them on shelter in place and house arrest as they try to fix a crony capitalistic system of broke-ass criminal banks and corporations. Are they going to be able to pull it off? I don't think so. Seriously. Try to put Americans on lockdown. Try to put 300 million Americans on house arrest for 18 months. I think that's how long first they said 30 days, and now they're talking 2 months. And you hear people talking 18 months. They don't know how long it's going to take to put this broke-ass banking system back together again. They were working with fake fiat currency, and now the house of cards is collapsing down upon them. And while they fix the system, they would appreciate it if everybody stays at home and watches the Kardashians. Seriously? Stay at home and watch the Kardashians as they try to, behind the curtains, fix the banking system that collapsed. Come on, that's not the way Americans operate. I just don't think this is going to work out as they planned. I don't think they thoroughly thought this through. I don't think they did. And I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised that they didn't throw in, save the children. You've got to do it to save the children. Bullshit propaganda has not been unleashed yet. Maybe that's because in the last 2 months, get this, I'm going to throw a little fact at you. They don't like the facts, so I'll throw one out there. Maybe it's because in the last 2 months, 20 children in America alone, 20 children have died from the flu virus. Yes, it's a fact they don't want you to know about. Apparently the flu virus just disappeared in mainstream media. And get this, 0, that's right, nada, not one single child has died from the so-called virus. Yes, it's embarrassing, isn't it? When the facts are thrown in your face, it's downright embarrassing. But don't let that stop the deep state from throwing the propaganda down your throat. I mean, it looks like Europe will be the first to force feed plastic digital money on the peasants. Yeah, digits. Plastic digital digits. Fake. Fiat money. Push a button and all of a sudden you got 1,000 digits in your computer bank account. Yes, that's what Europe will probably have to do it first, but then not long after, the 666 gang will force feed the same magical plastic digital computer money on the unwashed masses of America. That's what's in plan. That's what they have in store for us. As you wait at home, as you sit at home, shelter in place on house arrest, just sit back as we rearrange the banking system. Let's hope that after a couple weeks of this bullshit, let's hope that the unwashed masses wise up. I mean, if you have a brain, if you seriously have a brain, and if you have any knowledge of special biolaboratories, then you can ascertain with the utmost certainty that this collapse was planned far in advance, okay? For example, I think I even made a video on it. I think it was on the channel Recca, the Ruins of America. Yeah, I have a channel called Recca, the Ruins of America. Or maybe it was even on the Bravo Alternative Media channel. At this point, I've made thousands of videos. I don't even know what channel I put it on. But I made a video back in October of 2019. Imagine that. I made a video back in October of 2019. I think about 66 people watched it. Yeah, maybe 6 people watched the video. I made a video, look it up. Walmart has a shortage of dish soap. Go check it out. I'm not the only one. I think there was one other guy who made a video about the dish soap shortage at Walmart in October of 2019, right before all this stuff started, right before they had the military games at Wuhan, okay? And all of a sudden, all the dish soap disappears. And you think that was a coincidence? I think not. Pre-planned, all thought out and advanced. That's all I can tell you. This is nothing short of a coup. A coup. These people, the 666 gang, they want to continue to stay in power. But unfortunately, the house of cards is falling. When the smoke clears, let's hope that the Americans win. I'll keep my fingers crossed. I'm under the theory, it's a Federal Reserve banking cartel. To me, it's a bunch of New Yorkers, criminal New Yorkers, who are trading fake money at the expense of guys like me. I'm on the ground here picking up the breadcrumbs, of course, and the Federal Reserve is pushing trillion-dollar buttons. To me, it's like criminal to me. The whole situation is criminal.
I know you should be complete. You should be grateful for you. No gratitude.